Hello, coolers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with Frenkie de Jong, as it has been reported that Manchester United are planning 114 million euro summer investment. Barcelona midfielder on the list. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Memphis Depay, as it has been reported that the Barcelona winger is still nursing an injury and he will likely not start in the World Cup opener. So guys, before we get right into the stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. According to a report by Jacques Talbot, Manchester United are planning to invest 114 million euros, that is 100 million pounds, on a world-class midfielder in the summer and have a fair few names on their list. One of them is Barcelona's Frenkie de Jong. The midfielder was Barcelona's first choice CM alongside Pedri last season, but lost his place to Pablo Gavi ahead of this season. Why many expected it was because the club wanted to offload him in the summer. The Young's performances were not particularly helping him either. One of the clubs interested in him, as it so happens, was Manchester United. The Red Devils had even found an agreement with Barcelona on an 85 million euros, including add-ons. The player, though, refused to succumb under the pressure of the administration. However, as the season has progressed, De Jong has found a more prominent role under Xavi. Not only has he done well in his natural position as a number 8, but has also covered rather impressively for Sergio Busquets in a role many thought would be unfamiliar for him. In recent games, Frenkie de Jong scored the second against Almeria and then assisted Rafinha's winner against Osasuna 3 days later. And while Eric Ten Hag is understandably fond of the player, he is not only one on United's radar. The Manchester outfit are also looking at Borussia Dortmund's Jude Bellingham, Newcastle United's Bruno Guimaraes, and West Ham's Declan Rice. Barcelona demanded 85 million from United for Frenkie de Jong last summer, but his performances this season and the World Cup could play a huge role in its estimated market value. That said, it will not be surprising if Barcelona choose to retain the 25-year-old, especially since Busquets is expected to leave the club. Frenkie de Jong continued to be linked with a move away from Barca, and United still been showing interest up to now. But when we look at the performances of Frenkie de Jong recently, it is going to be a very big mistake if Barca sell Frenkie de Jong, honestly. And I think Xavi now realizes how good Frenkie de Jong is, because Xavi have been starting Frenkie de Jong in many games recently. And I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy about Frenkie de Jong's performances and the confidence and the way he plays, trying to convince the manager that he is the man to always be a starter. He has been doing some crucial decisions, honestly, on the pitch. Look at the winner against Osasuna, despite being 10 men. His vision to give that assist to Rafinha was second to none. And it's great to see Frenkie de Jong being in his best form. And we have a treasure in our hands, and we can't afford to act foolishly on that. I think normally we have one of the best midfielders in Europe. And the way Barca treated him, to be honest, in the summer was not fair. And we have a player that can make the difference in any given time in a match. Frenkie de Jong is a world-class player, and Barcelona need to understand that as soon as possible. So whatever links that United are still showing or whatever, that should be kept or swept aside, because we have to keep our best players if we want to ever compete, if we want to challenge for the bigger trophies, compete with the elite clubs. It makes no sense for us to sell elite players. Definitely, I understand that, yes, we have a lot of issues on wage structure, wage limit, and Frenkie de Jong being one of the most valuable players in the squad, A lot have been made as an excuse that Frenkie de Jong can be sold so that Barca will have a lot of space on their wage bill that can further make it easy for them, to buy other players. But now we see players like Piqué who have already retired and left the club. Busquets will definitely leave as his contract comes to an end. So for me, I don't think the replacement for Busquets all the time that we've been talking here, that's not the solution. I think we have a player who can bring something different to that DM role. He must not play the same way that Busquets plays. You know, the issue of philosophy that Barca have stuck into. But I think Frenkie de Jong is still a player with a kind of, his profile still fits us. And I don't see why we should be running into a Busquets replacement. Barca have been linked with countless number of players in that position, but none of them looks like concrete opportunity, or none of them look realistic, to be honest. But we have Frenkie de Jong, who by trade has been a DM since his days at Ajax. But luckily enough, he has been versatile. He also plays DM. But it seems as if Barca don't care about that. So let's see how it's going to look like when it comes to Frenkie de Jong's future. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, Netherlands manager Louis van Gaal released a squad list that he will be taking to Qatar for the FIFA World Cup 2022 earlier today. And on the list were two Barca players in the form of Memphis Depay and Frenkie de Jong. The inclusion of the Barca duo has hardly surprised anyone, considering, of course, the importance that those two hold in the national team in Holland. However, after naming the squad, Van Gaal confirmed that Depay will be unable to start in the Oranges World Cup opener against Senegal, as he is yet to recover fully from an injury. However, the 28-year-old could feature off the bench. Speaking in a press conference, the Holland manager said Memphis will not start against Senegal, but he could come into the pitch later in the game. I have always said that I would leave a gap open for Memphis, just like with Frenkie de Jong. Depay picked up a thigh injury while on international duty with the Netherlands back in September. Since then, the Dutch winger did not play a single game for Barcelona, even leading to suspicion that he was slowing his own recovery to avoid risking further injuries ahead of the World Cup. A crucial part of the national team setup, Depay played an integral role in the Netherlands qualifying for the World Cup after they had missed out in 2018. In total, the Barcelona ace has 81 caps for the Orange, in which he has scored 42 goals. With the 28-year-old still recovering from his injury, Van Gaal will hope that there are no more setbacks, as he will need the former Manchester United forward in Qatar. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.